GE today is a company of what do we do? We do infrastructure and we finance them. And what we try to do is to understand the needs, and I would say the vital needs of the population, and serve them. And the vital needs today are about, I mean, in our field, we don't cover all the fields, of course, but the vital needs for us is how do we moving, and how can we give a more efficient, reliable transportation system in any field, you know, aviation, train, EVs, and we spoke a lot about electrical vehicle, fleet, monitoring, navigation, and all that kind of stuff. So all what is about moving. The second vital needs that we have when we live in a city or when we live in a country is curing. How can we give access to health to everyone? You know, we are a technology company, so we had the idea that because we are a technology company and we are dedicated to diagnostic, we should do more and more sophisticated product to more and more sophisticated population. It's where we grew those last 20 years with very high technology, MRR, scanner, life science, and so on and so on. And oh, here it is. Okay, that's good. So, next slide. Next slide. So this is just a big global picture of GE, just that you understand that we have a big business in energy. We are in all the field of energy. You know, we do nuclear, we do thermal, we do oil, we do solar, we do wind. So we do renewables. So we are in all the field of production of energy, and also on oil and gas. But what is very important today, and what I want to speak to you with you today, is about energy management. Because where we can be more efficient, more smarter, clever enough, and getting everyone together, and where we'll save energy and save energy consumption will be mainly in energy management. The other thing is that we have a big healthcare business, also in aviation and transportation. We can finance the project with GE Capital. And why do we have a big GE Capital brand? It started in the, I would say, not the last crisis, but the crisis that occurred in the 20th century, which was in 1929, because our customer couldn't pay our products. So we started to finance the product for them. And it's the way we grew as GE Capital. And I would say it's still our DNA. We finance the product, we finance aircraft engines, we finance the car, we finance equipment. So we are a banker of assets. And this we want to continue today to do. And of course, home business solutions. Next slide. So this is what I was trying to explain to you. What is our target and our main goal is really to serve the vital needs. So moving, curing, it's about healthcare. And what we understood is that the new path of healthcare is to bring health to everyone. The cheapest way, the most efficient way. And now the technology is able to give us that to us. Not only the technology, but also the software. You know, it's not the purpose of today, but all the new internet that gives the possibility to do Internet of Things, machine to machine, machine speaking to other machine, that can give you, for example, the possibility to have, as we have, a product which is the size of a cell phone, called the Vscan. And it's an ultrasound, and you can go in remote area, have the picture of the heart, of any part of the body, and send it to the hospital. So you can. So it's a new way to do the medicine, because it means that the patient is not going anymore to the hospital, but the tools is going to the patient, and that will change globally the way that we treat the people, and the way we can remain them at home. The other thing, of course, is powering. How can we go and, as I said, go on renewable energy, but also on energy management system that can provide energy to everyone the cheapest way, the easiest way, and go not only on the big gas thermal turbine, big utilities and so on, which that will continue because we'll need all the energy when we can, but also distributed energy. How can we put just a solar a panel there or a wind turbine to serve the needs of this room and that kind of stuff. This is how can each of us be responsible of the way we consume our energy. And I always tell this story, you know, when you go in supermarket and you buy butter or you buy your food and so on, you can select the food you want and you can select how much you want with your money. And you can select the brand or you can select a product which is cheaper and so on. In energy, for the time being, we are a blind customer. Not only we can't choose, but we don't know how much we spend. We know it 1 month after. And we say, oh, it's terrible. I've spent too much money by warming my flat or not taking care of my lights and so on and so on. So you can't change the behavior when you don't know what are the consequences of your behavior. And now with the new tools, you know, the smart grid, the smart meter, everything with the, as I was saying, with the Internet of Things, with the communication tool, you will have that on your cell phone, you will have that on your iPad, so you will be a smart consumer of energy. And this is really the new revolution. The other thing is, of course, building. Building is sharing the expertise. You know, in the past, the one who had the knowledge had the power. We were having this discussion just before. Now, the one who has the power is the one who shares the information. If you see a company like Apple, Google, or Facebook, the only knowledge they have is to share the knowledge, and it's not their own knowledge, it's the knowledge of everyone, you know. And this is the new word, and this is complicated for companies and for government, and the one who has the power to understand that they are not anymore the chief of orchestra, they are part of the orchestra, and if they want to win, they have to go down from the stage and be with the other, share with all the people who are here their knowledge to grow faster. So this is the way that GE works and is committed to. And the way we do it, next slide, it's first to define what is the eco market. Next slide, please. Oh, okay. The way we try to define eco market is the idea very simple that the annual investment in any technology that will increase the productivity of natural resource. Why do we say it this way? Because environment will work and all the ecosystem will work only if we save money. Okay, the target is to save the planet, to consume less, but it will work, it will be buy by the customer, it will be used by anyone, only it is save also money. And this is why we try to put the technology with Ecomagination, that we are sure that it is a win-win solution for everyone, for us, for our customer, for the end users, that everyone will get benefit of it. Next slide. So in 2005, and I can tell you, no one can remember that, but in 2005, it was a crazy idea. Our CEO, Jeff Immel, started the Ecomagination strategy. At this time, if you remember, being eco was, you know, the ecology was something that was a constraint for the company. Many of them were saying, okay, don't do that now, we will wait. In US, company was saying, if we do that, we'll lose our competitiveness against China that don't care about ecology and so on and so on. You remember there was that kind of debate. GE took the contrary and said, green is green, you know. Green, if you do green, you will win money. And we put the Ecomagination strategy inside all our business. And what does that mean? It means that we committed ourselves, first of all, to increase the numbers of projects which were with the label of Ecomagination. What does that mean? To be labelized Ecomagination, of course, it's certified by an agency which is completely independent from GE, is that it has to be a game changer, reducing by at least 50% the emission of CO2 or the consumption and so on. And to give you an example, we started just after the 9/11, a big investment in aircraft engine with an aircraft engine called Genix. This engine is consuming 15% less of kerosene, and now it has been the winner of all the bids, and we have reached another aircraft engine just with this crisis 3 years ago called the Olympics. This aircraft engines make 70% less noise and consume 15% less. And this aircraft engine has been also the winner of the last sales for the new aircraft engine. The other thing is that we have, of course, decided to invest much more in R&D, in ecology, in eco-product. We also commit ourselves, and I think this is very important, that what we say our customer has to do, we do it for ourselves. It's the best proof that it is efficient. And we have decided to reduce our own greenhouse gas emission and improve our energy efficiency in GE by 50%. In all our factory, all our plant, we have a big program of reducing our energy consumption and also reduce our water use and, of course, share that with the public. Next slide. The impact of Ecomagination for our customer is, of course, the main target. It's what we call co-creation or shared added value. The idea is that what we don't come anymore to the customer and say, oh, we have the best product for you. We come to the customer and say, we want you to be successful, to earn money, to sell more, and we will help you to increase your added value. And with this co-creation, it comes to understand really what are the needs of our big customer, big utilities, bigger aircraft carrier, and so on. And if you take, for example, in energy, we have been able to give added value by 300 million to our customer. For aircraft engines, it's 840 million annual fuel saving. For locomotive, it's nearly 200 million annual fuel saving. So it's really a win-win game we try to play with our customer, so they will get benefit of it. And to be honest with you, during the crisis where all the orders were cutting off in 2009 and 2010, the green Ecomagination product grew by 20%. So we started this strategy in 2005, and it was the right one to do. Next slide. And to conclude, I just want to share with you some very concrete example that we selected because we thought they could be translated here in Israel. The first one is we call the technology of Jenbacher. It's a biogas cogeneration. It's a technology that where you can burn anything, any used oil coming from agriculture or coming from industrial site. It can be small, it can be put everywhere, and we sell it to the Czech Republic in a big scale. And that, instead of burning those oil that you don't know what to do with, you can make water, you can make energy. And you save, of course, with the cogeneration, you save 58% of CO2 emission and so on. So this is really adapted to a market like Israel. So I thought it was interesting for you to share that with you. The next one, the next example, it's what you're trying to do here. So I thought it was interesting to share that with you. It's what we call the Energy Valley. The idea is that we put together a large scale of big company, medium-sized company, universities, with all the key actors, and we have a program to secure the introduce the energy contractor, develop the R&D activities and partnership with the local authorities and universities and engineering school, and create all let's say the eco environment that will help the Energy Valley to grow as a cluster. You all know, and you know better than me, how a cluster works. What I would say that is very important today is that if you look at the target we have to have, it's not only about technology, it's also about changing the business model, it's also about changing the behavior of every of us. It means that the ecosystem needs to have everyone around the table if you want that to work. And if you take the example of the electrical vehicle, you will see it's not only about changing a car, a normal car to an electrical car, it's about changing the usage of it. You will rent it instead of buying it, it will be by fleet. It's a completely new business model you have to build with that. So it means that you have to have involved the government, whether it's at the national level or the local level or the cities and so on. You have to have involved the university, the center of research, to have the best battery, to have the best software, embark the software inside the car and so on. You have to have the company that are able to invest in R&D and also in technology. And you have to have the banks that can finance the system. And at least, which is the most important, you have the customer. And you have to have the people who are really willing to go to be the earlier adopter of a new system. And I think you have that in Israel. I hope really that, because we had a dinner with Better Place, and that will be successful. But, I mean, the country that will succeed will be the one, not the one who has the best technology or the highest amount of money, but the people, the country who are able to create this ecosystem to grow all together at the same time to make the new business model. Next slide. Health Imagination, it's the other initiative we have started, and just go very quickly through that. As I said, we want to improve the quality, reduce the cost, and increase the access with a small tool, and that also changed the business model, and I will give you an example. Next slide. This is the Vscan, as I told you. This is the typical application we have. This is a reverse innovation because we did the product in China. And the idea was, how can we touch the people who don't go to the hospital because it's too far away, and when they come to the hospital, they are too sick. And so the idea at the beginning was really to have access to people who are in region with no access to ultrasound equipment in hospital. But what is very interesting is that now this tool is available in developed country like ours in Europe, and this is changing the relationship we have with the patient, and the imaging technology is bringing a way that we can keep the people at home. Next slide. Oh, you can go. Sorry. And the home health vision, this is really the next step, and that is something where we can play, but as I said, we can't play alone. And the idea is that, okay, we were used to go at the market trend is that hospital will be specialized in center of acute care, clinics with caring for sicker patient, home increasing acuity for patient, and the market needs is how can we make all those things working together, which is not clearly the case today. When you go to the hospital, the information connected to the hospital to your doctor is not well done. So we have to close the loop control to reduce the error. You have to have a simple and better diagnostic, and we have to have at home a system to link the caregivers and the family. And that means that we won't be any more a patient that looks to the doctor and do religiously what the doctors say, but we will be taking care of ourselves. First to prevent the disease, but also when we have the disease to be also our own doctor, and to do it and to build our cure with the doctor. Next slide. So with that, what I want to say is that a big company like ours, we need you. You are the builders of tomorrow with your technology, with your creativity. It's why we have created a global center of research here in Israel. This is an initiative that has been really decided by Jeff Immelt himself. And the idea is not coming with our big knowledge and say, we'll show you what we are able to do, what we want to do, and so on. No, it's absolutely the contrary. What we're doing here in Israel is to listen to you, to see what you bring, to see what are your ideas, and to see how we can leverage your ideas, help you to grow faster, help you to go broader, to go in other countries, in other places, in other markets, in other, let's say, application with your technology. And this is really, I mean, David and Goliath. I think we want to play with you because we believe that in the new way of thinking, David will win. Thank you.